Hi, good afternoon. I'm Chiara Soldati, and today I will be very pleased to introduce you my cellar, my history, and to have a very quick journey in Italy. So it is very interesting for me and very honored today to have this opportunity to present my wine in the Global Wine Facebook profile, because we started in a few months our cooperation, and for me the Czech Republic is amazing and great country where to present my wines. I visited many times Prague. It's so beautiful, and it is for me a very honor to start this cooperation. And unfortunately, this spring I was unable to come and visit and to present my wines, but I hope to do this very soon. So in this moment, I present in a digital way our wines, and today we will especially focus our very iconic label, the Gavi Black label. Well, I represent the fourth generation in La Scolca, and La Scolca is a company based in Piedmont, in South Piedmont. And we started to produce Gavi 100 years ago. So it is very important to mention that La Scolca celebrate 100 years of production last year. So we can consider that La Scolca was the first seller that introduced Gavi in the area of Gavi, and it was my family that decided to introduce the white grapes instead of the red grapes in this very small area of Piedmont. We started to produce Gavi. And when we started, we started immediately to label the wine and also to present in the best restaurants and hotels in Italy. In the second half of 19th century, around 60s, we started also to export, and the first markets was Germany, UK, and United States. Well, my family business wasn't at the beginning the wine, and so the wine production was primarily a great passion, because we loved sparkling wines, champagne, and Chablis. So the idea of the founder 100 years ago was to create an Italian Chablis, because the soil is argillous and very rich soil, and perfect for mineral and very fresh and very intense wines. So Gavi, La Scolca, is characterized by a very fresh and mineral tasting, so very perfect for pairing with Italian dishes, but also for dishes and pairing with international cuisine, or Japanese sushi, or different type of cuisine. La Scolca export in 46 countries in the world, so it was very incredible for me to pair with the Thai food or Mexican food or many different Greek food. So it is very fresh, very comfortable wine. The characteristic of La Scolca is to work respecting very much the soil and our production starting in the vine, because for us the wine production is not only a business, but it is an heritage, because any generation transmit the land to the next generation. So we respect our wine, and we start the process of growing in January with the cutting of the plants, and after with the pruning, and we have in June a green harvest in order to select the right number of grapes in the plants, because the secret of our method is to don't use any chemical additives, in the vineyards and in the cellar, and also to select the right number of grapes in the plants. For example, for the Gavi Black Label, Gavi Dei Gavi, it is very special, the production, because we use plants till 60 years old, and the number of grapes for these plants is very limited. So the concentration of flavor in the grapes is incredible, and when we obtain the raw material in September, our grapes is around 1 kilo, 1.5 kilos of weight, and all the flavor, the sugar and the alcohol concentration that we will obtain in the wine is totally the natural elements that we have in the raw material during the winemaking process. And we use a specific method of production that froze the grapes during the discharge, during the winemaking process, and in this way we not oxidate the wines, and we will preserve by the high temperature or the oxidation. And it is very important because the white wine needs to be fresh, to be clean, so we will obtain a very clean and very healthy mast, and we will maintain the mast on the lees till the moment of the bottling. So we will not use any chemical additives to adjust the color, so the color became clean by themselves, and also the alcohol degree or the sulfides is very low. And it is very important because white wine needs to be enjoyable, very fresh, and many people appreciate that La Scolca, and particularly La Scolca Black Label, is so clean and so fresh in our style. So we started to produce this wine, and we discovered the beginning that this method of production will be very, very, very important. So we changed many things, but we never changed our method of production. And every generation invested and started with the building of the new cellar. I am the fourth generation, and in the 2018 I finished the building of the new cellar, and it is a way to look to the future and to be always updated, because now we need to invest in our tradition, obviously, because we need to invest in our property, and also representing a very specific DOCG. We need to be very close to our tradition, but we need also to be very modern and very updated, and innovation is very important in this moment, to be always one step in advance to the others. So we introduced new technology in the last few years, to gift in the glass of wine always something more, and we will be never bored to try to invest and to find something more in our wines. So now, for example, in the method of cultivation and in the winemaking process, we are able to gift very harmonious wines. The freshness of Gavi, because the tasting of Gavi is characterized by a very comfortable tasting of almond, very salty tasting, white flour, very flavored but also very light. And at the end of the time of the tasting, you can enjoy, especially for the Black Label, flavor of the orange and the citrus. So it's a perfect wine for summer, because we need to to enjoy this wine like an aperitif, for example, or for a dinner or for lunch. We have many different labels for many different type of tasting, and also many type of wine for different wine pairing. For example, we love to mix our Gavi with food pairing with seafood. Like salmon, for example, or tuna, or clams, or shrimp, because the raw fish or fish like tuna or salmon are a little bit fat, and the very high minerality and freshness tasting of Gavi La Scolca could be very enjoyable with raw fish, because cleans so well the mouth and is so enjoyable. So it is perfect pairing for this type of food, or with a pasta with seafood or vegetables is fantastic, or cake with vegetables. So it's very mixed and very large, the type of food that we can pair with La Scolca wines. So we take care for any details. So the perfect wine, like the perfect music or the perfect paint or perfect dish, is made by little details, and these details that are fundamental. So the way of cutting in the vineyards, or how we work the soil during the time before the harvest, or the way how we produce in our cellar. And secondary, but not least, we take care very much to maintain really the authenticity of the tasting. Was my father in 1972 that obtained the DOC, and in the 1998 obtained the DOCG, because we needed to give loyalty to this denomination, and my family invested since 100 years in this territory, and for us it is not a business, but it is a passion, it is an emotion. And when we try to present our wines, we try to transmit this emotion, and we consider that our work is not fundamental for the humanity. Well, we consider that we are not doctors, or we are not so fundamental for the humanity, but we save a very nice moment in the life, and many people written me, and now in the social media send me message remembering the very nice moment, the private moment that they spent with La Scolca, and especially with La Scolca Black Label, like birthdays or weddings, or many important moments in their career or in their private life. And we are very proud, because also many famous people drank La Scolca for a special moment. For example, Queen Elizabeth, or Colin Firth, or Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Madonna, and Lenny Kravitz, and many persons and their sport life like Roger Federer, for example, or many other famous people. If you will be curious, you can have a look in our website, and in our press release you will find the original menu or pictures, because we take care about the privacy of our private customers. But we had many articles on official menu with the indication for this. So we are very proud, because we can consider that the La Scolca Black Label is the wine of the special moment. And now we spent the last months all over the world in a very difficult timing, but a glass of wine could be a perfect dream. It is a gift, approachable, and it is something that can change your life, your time. And I consider that we spent a long time working And at the end of the day, we like to enjoy the time with our partner or our friends or in family, drinking a glass of wine, of good wine. Many years ago, a friend of mine that live in a very cold countryside in Europe sent me in winter a letter, and he explained me like outside the window he's looking the snow, but inside the home, drinking La Scolca Black Label, closing their eyes, he was in a summertime and dreaming holidays. So I always repeated the paragraph of my cousin that was a very famous writer in Italy, and he said that wine is a poetry of the land, and it is right, because wine in the history was always considered like something magic, something that can represent really a very happy time. So we can consider that we work especially with the Black Label, with the aged vine, with the very selected grapes, and we work to give always this emotion in our bottles. So we can consider really that we like to gift something special. So we started many years ago to produce, and we never missed this energy, and we try to share this with our followers, wine lovers, and the consumer. It is quite strange because the world changed in the last months, and I love to stay in contact with everyone and to try to communicate what we are doing. So if you want to follow us in the social media, you can have a little window over our vineyards and what is happening now and what is the secret of our production. So, like I said before, nothing could be perfect without a lot of work, and we are very strong worker. And also this year we are working in order to give the same quality, the same value as usual, and we are never stopped to work in our vineyards this year, because we believe in our product, we believe in our land. So we hope really always to gift you a very important glass of wine. So La Scolca Black Label, I repeat, is our icon wine. It is the wine of the special moment. It is the wine that we obtain with very old vine till 60 years old, with a high selection in the plants. So we obtain a very sophisticated wine. When we taste La Scolca Black Label, it is very interesting because at the nose you can discover very light white flower. So the perfume is very delicate, but at the same time is quite intense, because you remember notes also of green apples. But the great surprise is when you taste this wine, because the first part of the tasting is mineral, obviously, is fresh, crispy. But when you end the tasting, you will be surprised by the notes of citrus, orange, like candy, and the balance between the dry part of the tasting and the harmonious tasting will be very, very, very incredible, and the minerality will be so long, and this salty tasting that remember the breeze from the sea that we have in La Scolca. It is incredible. So it is a fantastic wine to remember summertime, but also it is a perfect wine to approach the summertime. And like I said before, it is very unique, and we are so proud to be listed in the beautiful properties all over the world. So we are in the Maldivian island, we are in Caribbean island, we are in the beautiful restaurants, in Novikov restaurants, in Cipriani restaurants, in Manu Risto in Prague, for example, or in many great properties like Four Seasons all over the world, or Emirates first and business class, or beautiful cruises. So La Scolca Black Label represents a brand. It is really a wine with a signature. It is quite a fashion wine. I love to remember the wine style, because we live in a world with so many wines from all over the world. And what is the wine that you remember? It is the wine that give you some specific emotion, and when you drink it, you recognize the happiness and the good feeling that you have with this wine. Many times people asked me, what is the perfect wine? I think that we can drink many different wines, but finally you drink again the wine that for you is a good memory and good remember. It is like the restaurant. When you imagine the perfect dinner, you remember a specific place where you feel comfortable, and where you stay well in the ambience with the owner, with the chef. So it is not only the way how you approach the food or the wine, but it is the ambience, the style, and obviously the emotion that you have. I remember many times when I was in Prague, for example, at Manu Risto, the beautiful place on the river, or in Kampen, the beautiful place under San Carlo Bridge. So it is something that I will maintain in my memory, and it is something very, very special. Or the restaurants in Rome, in the place beautiful in the little corner of the city. So it is the memory. So we live in the future, but we love to maintain our gift in our heart for the memories. So we can state that La Scolca Black Label could be considered the wine for the special moment, for special people, but also the wine of our memories. So it is so emotional to collect all the memories from all over the world of our wine lovers. And this wine represents really everything of this. So it is, for me, a great pleasure to be important and represented in the Czech Republic by Global Wine. It is a fantastic partnership. We started a few months ago, so we need to create a very good future for our wines, and to introduce our history, our product, and our tasting in your country. Because behind every label we find the faces, and we find the person, we find the histories. So in La Scolca, after 100 years, our history will follow with the fifth generation, with many news, because I'm studying a new product for the 2021. So we will be never tired and never bored to try and to create something new and to enjoy our wine lovers with a new glass of La Scolca. So I thank you very much to follow me. If do you have some question, I will be very happy to reply you, and I invite also to follow us La Scolca in the social media in order to be always updated in our world, and to discover our long history, and to create the future with us. So I'm very happy today to have this opportunity. So I wait a few minutes if I will receive some question, and obviously I will be at your disposal also in the future if you need some more explanation about the wines. So I present you again our La Scolca Black Label well known as Gavi dei Gavi. It is a trademark of La Scolca. It's a special trademark for us, and we can enjoy this wine for summer and to remember the good time. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Global Wine. Well, see you soon, and I hope to see you very soon in Czech Republic next time when I will be in the country. Thank you very much.